Cybersecurity news from Bloomberg. Indonesia says election under attack from Chinese Russian hackers. Chinese and Russian hackers are attacking Indonesia's voter database in a bid to disrupt the country's upcoming presidential election, according to a senior election commission official. As Indonesia prepares for simultaneous presidential and legislative polls on April 17th, authorities are facing a wave of cyber insecurities they say may be aimed at discrediting the polling process. The head of Indonesia's General Elections Commission, Arief Budiman, said some of the attacks originated in Russia and China and include attempts to manipulate or modify content as well as to create so-called ghost voters or fake voter identities. They tried to hack our system, Budiman said in an interview in Jakarta on Tuesday. Not only every day, almost every hour, he said, adding it was unclear whether the motive was to disrupt Indonesia or to help one of the candidates win. Voter behavior can be changed by delegitimizing the organizer of the election, he said, referring to the General Elections Commission known as KPU. China doesn't interfere in other nations' domestic affairs and is resolutely opposed to hacking. Its Ministry of Foreign Affairs said in a statement on Wednesday evening, Indonesia hasn't provided any information about the allegations, but China was ready to cooperate in fighting against hacking if evidence existed, it said. The latest developments come in the wake of a crackdown in Indonesia on so-called fake news and the use of social media to influence voters, and it follows allegations of Russian interference of the 2016 U.S. presidential election, which was won by Donald Trump. Russia rejected the allegation of cyber attacks in Indonesia as baseless, with the Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov saying the country doesn't meddle. Russia has no intention of interfering in any affairs of other states, especially in electoral processes. We don't like it when it's down to us, and we never do it ourselves, Peskov told reporters Wednesday. A spokesman for the Widodo campaign declined to comment on allegations of attempted hacking of the KPU database, as well allegations of voter fraud brought by the campaign team for presidential candidate Prabowo Subianto. For the probe, the commission also stated an investigation into separate allegations of voter fraud raised by the campaign team for Subianto, more commonly known as Prabowo. Budiman said the election pits Prabowo, a former Special Forces general, against the incumbent in Joko Widodo. The probe, which is expected to be completed this week, will examine whether 17.5 million names have been fraudulently added to the electoral roll. It comes after a meeting on Monday between the Election Commission and Hashim Hadikusumo, Prabowo's brother and the media and the communications director for his campaign. We've discovered 17.5 million dubious names on the offshore voter roll, Jojo Hadikusumo said Tuesday in a text message. He said there was a massive number of other anomalies. The latest allegations of voter fraud follow similar complaints made last year regarding the existence of 25 million ghost voters. An investigation later showed that there were some 700,000 potential fake voters, Budiman said. There were also allegations of voter fraud made by the Prabowo camp following the 2014 presidential election, which the former general lost to Widodo. A lawsuit to challenge the result of the election was rejected by the Constitutional Court. What we see now is some people, some parties trying to create distrust of the KPU because it will lead to distrust of the process and the result, and eventually trigger conflicts, Budiman said on Tuesday. Fake news. Communications Minister Rudiantara, who uses only own name, said last year there was evidence that Widodo was being targeted by false claims aimed at discrediting him, with some of the attacks originating overseas. The Election Commission has also recently met with representatives from Facebook Incorporated, Twitter Inc., and Alphabet Inc., Google tried to ensure social media platforms were not used to spread hoaxes and manipulate the political process. Budiman said the Commission would ensure a transparent and fair election. International observers have been invited to monitor the vote, he said. With about 4 weeks to go in the campaign, polls show Widodo holding a lead of about 20 points over Prabowo. Still, the gap has narrowed and Prabowo has campaigned aggressively, prompting suggestions he could spring a Mahathir-like upset and follow Malaysia's Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad in winning an unlikely voting victory.